You know, some people don't like it when I clink the 24 karat coins, but anything less than this just kind of feels lazy. You guys deserve more than that. So, I bugged out to the mountains for a few days, and the next few videos are probably going to have a little bit of a different feel. Now, I'm not trying to make any kind of off grid point here. I just had some stuff to do. I had to do it before the big snowfall. I did bring some gold, though, as you can see here, and I'm going to make a point or two about moving this stuff. I threw in a tube of Buffaloes and then a few of these high relief Liberty coins, and that is about 26 ounces of gold. So we're going to call that $50,000 worth of value. And all that got jammed into the space of about a flashlight, or the handful of 9 volts that I had to grab to get these damn fire alarms to stop chirping. And right now, I'm probably 30 minutes from 2 separate shops that would buy it from me. And I know several craftsmen in the area that would happily take metals in payment. They have mentioned it in the past. So no big point there, except to say that gold is easy to move. And I mean that both in terms of it being easy to transport and easy to convert to cash. So I don't normally throw $50,000 in the car with me, and I'm not out here to ride anything out. Some of this is just here to be split up. Some of it's here because I'm alone and I just knew that I'd have some time to make a video or two. These 2019 high relief Liberties, by the way, have been popping up again. I've seen them on JM Bullion and SD Bullion. They're a fantastic coin. Not sure they're worth the extra premium yet, but they're going for about $2,100. I think that's about 14% premium. I haven't done the math. I can't do that in my head, but I think that's what it was, somewhere around there. So not a great deal, but it's a novelty coin. Might be worth it to you. All right, what was I saying? I think where I was going with this is that while I was here, the markets have just been getting beat up, both stocks and crypto. I think the last time Bitcoin dumped this hard, I was up here alone too. And Bitcoin dropped something like 20% in a day. And who knows where it's going, hopefully back up. But there's a little bit of a low-level dread that you get when you're alone and you're watching your investments tank. Maybe that's just me, but I've never seen anything like that happen with gold. And I know that there's just nothing you can do about the markets. Try not to dwell on anything. But it did make me think that if I wanted to move my crypto right now, it would be a lot harder to move that than it would be to move my gold. I do have a cold wallet here, and I can get at any of my staked positions, but it's still harder than this stuff. Most of my Bitcoin, most of my Ethereum is locked away half a day's drive from here. Now, I'm not saying that it's harder to move cryptocurrency in general, but it's just not normal to be traveling with the full extent of your wealth. And any kind of selling friction, well, it has the chance to sting you when it comes to something that's so volatile as cryptocurrency. So this might be the mountain air getting in my head, but all that talk of Bitcoin being the future because it's easier to use or it's easier to buy and sell has proven, at least to me, to not be the case. I can buy and trade GLD. I can buy and trade IAU a lot easier with a lot less stress than I can Bitcoin. Gold isn't just the stuff that you see on this table. GLD and IAU definitely isn't my favorite way to buy gold, but it's definitely a possibility. And not having that 24/7 trading window like cryptocurrency has is kind of nice, especially when you're trying to get outside and stack some firewood. Now, as for physical gold, it is harder to move it, but that's not always a bad thing. It's probably a little bit like trying to move digital assets that you keep in a cold wallet. Having a little bit of that selling friction might just be enough to keep you from doing something dumb. Panic selling on that 20% drop, for instance. But the idea that gold is antiquated because it's hard to move does not make any sense. Real estate is hard to move. Ranch land is hard to move. Gold is still pretty easy. As for gains on the gold, well, I think it's worth considering just how nice it is to have an asset that does not drop in value 20% overnight. That's really something to consider if you're a Bitcoin fanboy or if you think stocks only go up. Now, I'm not talking those markets down, by the way. I actually like those markets most days. The last few days, though, a little bit tough. I'm not sure if the three-legged stool analogy works here, but on a week like we just came out of, having some kind of stable asset can make you feel a lot better waiting out some of those crazy drops. So I think I started this out pointing out how easy it is to pack a large amount of value into a small space, like an old chessboard kit in this case. Now what I have on the table right here, this is probably $30,000, and that is not meant as a flex or anything like that. If this is your first time on one of my videos, it might seem a little bit weird that I'm doing this here, but that is not the goal. It has nothing to do with the point. So let me give you the point. I've been buying this bit by bit for a long time. The dollar amount really doesn't matter, but in my case, none of this value here came at the expense of something big. Didn't have to cut other things. I was able to buy it when I could, either by cutting out something that I didn't need or by pulling some kind of profit out of an investment, maybe out of a graveyard shift effort. But it didn't come at a loss at anything else, at least not in any kind of acute way. Gold is not cheap, very expensive, but I found ways to kind of carve out from the budget ways to buy it. Now on paper, I lost this much overnight on those other markets. Probably a lot more than this really, but most of that I imagine is going to come back with time. If it didn't though, this stuff kind of ensures that I'm going to end up fine. And that's the point. So let's call it good there. Maybe tomorrow we head into town, try to get a card game, see how long they let me film before they throw me out. Actually, that doesn't sound like a very good idea, so maybe not. Anyway, let us know what you're up to. Are you buying gold? It's getting pretty close to Christmas, and most of us are probably slowing down to make sure that we're stacking gifts, but gold is actually feeling pretty positive lately. Let us know if you're buying or if you're waiting. And while you're there, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're into the topic of gold and silver. And if you're still here, thank you again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.